Because he has this rule. He won't go this far. I can't believe that I have to just explain that to a film director, bro. This is exactly why this man is a freaking hack. He's hacked Snyder forever. Your Rebel Moon was a flop. No one wants to see it. We saw what you did with Star Wars. You're garbage. So Joe Rogan Podcast had an interview with Zack Snyder. Nice. And he talked about the backlash that he got from comic book fans. Let's go ahead and take a listen.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
But it's interesting to see when there's such a strong reaction to certain things. And especially amongst really wild, hardcore fans, because there's hardcore, particularly.
I know.
Yeah, you you also face it because you cover these genres, you cover these subjects that are iconic. Superman, Batman. I mean, just those alone.
No. And by the way, that's a lifestyle choice for a lot of people. It's not a movie.
Right.
It's not a movie. It's not like if I made a romantic comedy, you'd be like, okay, that was fun.
Right.
The people who love, and by the way, I love that they feel this passionately. I'm not, in no way would I criticize that, because I feel I live the same life, right? Because for me, it's morning, noon, and night. But so for those guys, it's not just a movie. And so you have to, on some level, you have to acknowledge that this is their religion. And they feel strongly about it. And by the way, the truth is, it's my religion too. So I tend to get in trouble because of I do take a deconstructivist point of view because of Dark Knight Returns, because of Watchmen. If you've read those two comics, it's hard to go back. You want to, and it's because I care that I want to take them apart. I want Batman.
It's hard to go back to the canon shit.
Yes.
He named 2 graphic novels
that are great.
Not canon, one-off stories, right? And he says it's hard to go back to the real shit. That's what he's saying, guys.
People are always like, well, Batman can't kill, right? So Batman can't kill is canon. And I'm like, okay, well, the first thing I want to do when you say that is I want to see what happens. And they go well, don't put him in a situation where he has to kill someone. I'm like, well, that's just you're protecting your God in a weird way, right? You're making your God irrelevant if he can't be in that situation. He has to now deal with that.
You hear this shit?
This is bullshit. No form, no shape, no nothing.
Oh my God!
Challenge your God. This is worse. What type of God is he if he can't?
This is worse than
Punisher.
Did him and Touching My Titty go to the same class of how they approach shit?
They went to the same cult.
Hey, bro, what is this?
He wants Batman to be the fucking Punisher, bro. He wants Batman to be the fucking Punisher. What the fuck?
What would be the difference between Batman and the Punisher when Batman slaughters people like that?
Nothing.
Nothing at all. Having that moral code is what makes Batman awesome.
Facts. No matter what situation that he is.
What makes him... Dang, I cannot pass my... I don't want to explain this, but it's just blows my mind. If you're a Batman fan, Look at The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight was spectacular because of Heath Ledger and Christian Bale. Batman and the Joker... immovable object, unstoppable force, doing this. We were made to do this forever. You won't break your rule. You won't go past. And I'm going to make you go past. That is what makes it interesting. And this guy, this hack, is exposing himself for not having a freaking clue about who Batman really is. He just said, when you say you can't do something, when a character has rules, I want to break those rules. Well, then there it is. That's why he's garbage, bro. And that's why he ruined the DCEU for 8 years.
What does it tell you? But does he stand up to it? Can he survive that? Right? As a god, as your god, can Batman survive that?
I never thought that was canon, that Batman can't kill. But
for a lot of people, it is.
That seems ridiculous given the circumstances in which he operates.
Yeah, well.
And all the weapons.
Don't read the comments right now. Don't read the comments.
Yeah,
this
seems ridiculous.
There's this huge so in Dark Knight Returns, there's a scene where, and I copied it kind of in Batman vs. Superman, where he grabs the M60, he busts through the wall, and he grabs the M60, and he's like, the guy's like, in the comic book, he's like got this kid. The mutant has this kid with a gun to his head, and he's like, I'll kill him, I swear I'll do it. And Batman says, I believe you. And he shoots him straight in the head because it's like a no-win scenario. It's like the Kobayashi Maru of, the Kobayashi Maru is that in Star Trek, it's that test they put Kirk through where there's a no-win, right? Because they want to see how you'll react, right? So they say, okay, we're gonna make a scenario, a test scenario where you don't win, where there's no way to win. And in that situation, we find out what you would do in a no-win situation. Because if you're going to be the commander of this spaceship, you're going to be in situations where, it's life or death. And especially when there's no tricking it, right? There's no tricking death in this case. And the famous thing with Captain Kirk is he went and hacked the machine and made it so there was a solution. Yeah. And so that was his response to the no-win situation, was create a scenario where he wins, which is cool, which is a cool character, that's a cool character move. But that's kind of how I felt. That's what they would say, don't do that to Batman. Don't put him in a no-win situation because we don't want to see him lose. We can't see him lose. He has to maintain this godlike status. And that's what the cool thing about Frank Miller. Frank Miller said, fuck it. I want to see who this guy, if a guy, so you're saying to me that I've got a gun to this kid's head, you're Batman. There's no move. There's no trick. There's no throwing the batarang. There's no a dust ball to distract me. I've just got to pull the trigger and I kill this kid.
There's no move. There's no batarang. This is what makes Batman Batman.
Facts.
There is no weapon that can just kill somebody because I'm Batman. You know how many times I've seen him throw a batarang?
Just hit it, bounce off something or it just hits him.
So you're basically saying strip away everything that Batman is and then make him just a regular man with a gun who has a gun to your son.
Thomas Wayne.
Oh, okay. Sure. If we're going to strip away who Batman is, okay, so if you just... That's the problem with why this guy is garbage, bro.
Yep. And he's not a Batman fan either. He's definitely not a Batman fan. The moral of Batman was... stand up here. The moral of Batman was he wasn't killing anybody because of what happened to his parents. And he never wanted anyone to ever go through the same situation that he did. So he made a vow that the number one thing he would never do is kill. So you're saying... No matter what it is.
I want to show you guys something.
You ain't lying about that.
A true test of someone's strength and who they are is something like this. The time where Superman, there was a girl who wanted to end her life. She wanted to unalive herself. And Superman is witnessing this woman in distress. What does Superman do? A man who has a code and morals. When is it okay to save someone or not? Does Superman have the right to save somebody from unaliving themselves? Is that the right thing to do, or should you just let them do what they want with their life? That's a very complex thing to have to deal with, and it only makes it awesome when a character has the rules and does overcome them by abiding by the rules and finding a way. There's always a way. It's the symbol of what hope is. It's about hope. Batman is hopeful because he has this rule. He won't go this far. I can't believe that I have to just explain that to a film director, bro. This is exactly why this man is a freaking hack. He's hacked Snyder forever. Your Rebel Moon was a flop. No one wants to see it. We saw what you did with Star Wars. You're garbage. Keon, what do you think?
Wow. How do you top that? So, I think Zack, his approach is not necessarily an incorrect approach, but it is for DC. His approach with any other character, I think, will be fine. If he did this in any other aspect, Rebel Moon, he did it in Rebel Moon, guess what? It sucked. But his directorial approach towards iconic characters and fundamentally stripping away what made them iconic characters just because you want to do a cool, unique take or revisionist take on them, they're not those heroes anymore. They're an Elseworld story. And then also think, how did he pitch this to DC and how did DC say this was okay? Because after hearing this, I'm pretty sure he said something similar to these niggas. Or did he lie?
He lied.
Or did he lie? Because there's no way a DC executive who owns the Batman rights, you own all this Batman stuff, you're hearing this man talk like this and you still said yes?
Kevin Tsujihara is a very bad executive who had his own problems. Kevin Tsujihara is not a nerd. He don't care about nerd shit. He only cared about dollars and cents. The dark era that Christopher Nolan started is what made Kevin Tsujihara come, because he saw how much money it made and he wanted to make the universe dark. That's why they got Zack to do dark. Make Superman dark, big mistake. Make all of them dark, big mistake. BBS. And Kevin Tsujihara just wanted the dollars. He's trash.
So basically, Zack wanted Batman to be Owlman. He wanted Batman to be Owlman, to be a serial fucking killer.
But I'm just glad that this interview exists because it kind of exposes exactly his mind state and how he thinks. These are the words
and
coming
get Joe
out of
Rogan
his mouth.
getting it out of him. To me, I'm ignoring Joe Rogan and his opinion. I just want to hear him talk.
Yeah,
Right.
Joe's definitely not a comic book fan.
Why do you want to hear him? Why do you want to hear Zack say it?
Because Zack means it. And because I know Zack isn't lying. He in terms of he's not lying to you. He's telling you the truth. I'm going to map this up, and y'all gonna let me. That's the type of mentality he has.
Oh, he has a rule? How can I break it?
Yeah.
You don't do that to
and you saw how
characters.
Did you see how he lit up with glee? Every time he talks about, I saw him do it similar with Superman.
Yes.
I want to kill him, and he just glows.
Yes.
Like, who does that?
He does.
That's like, oh, let's make a Dragon Ball Z movie, but Goku's not going to hit his head.
And no Dragon Balls.
No Dragon Balls, and Goku won't hit his head. He got to learn being a Saiyan through other means.
It's not Goku.
Yeah.
It's Gohan. Just do Gohan.
Wouldn't it be cool?
Wouldn't that be cool?
Wouldn't that be cool?
Because he's half human.
Yeah.
Goku's this Saiyan from this planet. Nah. Gohan, he comes from this planet, has a baby, but he dies because he gets a brain aneurysm. But Gohan, the half human, wouldn't that be cool? Freaking hack. What do you
That's
think?
funny because that was how the story's supposed to be. It's funny because we all talk about how people always want to change our characters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
How the LG ABC alphabet crew wanted to make a lot of characters LGBT crew. Part of them stuff. Instead of just making their own character and try to sell their stuff their own. But we ain't seeing that. But we saw it with Zack. He did his own stuff. And look what happened.
Yep.
It was problems on that set, though. It was problems on that set. And now I see why it was problems on that set. And I see why Ben Affleck was mad as hell about that. Like, think about it. Ben Affleck said that he was a Batman fan. Him and Matt Damon said they were Batman fans when they were kids.
Yeah.
When he told him about what he was gonna make on Batman, I'm sure Ben Affleck was mad as shit.
But he did the role.
It's not what I want to do.
I don't care how mad he did the role. Ben Affleck should have said, "No, I'm not doing it."
Ben had the cachet to be like, "I'm good."
Yeah, he should have never took the role.
I mean, he probably figured after the Daredevil, that was the lifetime.
Crazy.
That was the lifetime that he was gonna ever do.
The only
anything else.
role who really didn't get slaughtered is Patty Jenkins' Wonder Woman. That's the only one who stayed true to the character.
Absolutely.
See, Patty stepped up and said, "Freak that! You're not about to deconstruct."
You know how much balls that took to completely deviate from what Zack was doing with Wonder Woman,
and he was the head. And he was the boss.
Yeah. A lot of love and respect to Patty for that shit, bro.
Yep.
Guys, when someone says how they're thinking,
you want them to.
That is all that matters. You guys heard it. Now, you've seen me say everything that he said, and I've critiqued this years ago. Because I got that from his films. It's quite clear. Nah, Jody, you just making this up. Well, here he is snitching on himself. Saying exactly why he does what he does.
That's facts.
Out of his mouth.
On Joe Rogan.
That's facts.
He ain't like he's doing it on Joe Rogan, the biggest platform in the world.
This is the guy you gave to make DC. And then when you guys thought he was going to do the shit with Star Wars, you got Rebel Moon. a freaking soulless
A bombshell.
movie. A rip-off, a straight rip-off of every sci-fi movie that came before it. Done the worst way, mind you. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think. Jody.